Good afternoon to all fellow conference participants wherever you are. It's great to be at this international conference today at the ICIIS 2020 event. I will present my paper entitled Al-Quran Perspective on Architectural Environmentally Friendly in the Aspect of Function Building. My name is Putri. I am doctoral student Islamic Architecture at ICIIS UIN Jakarta. My discussion today will be divided into 5 parts. The first, introduction. Second, characteristic of building function in architecture. Third, characteristic of 4 dimensions in Al-Quran. 4. Proof or architectural verses in the Quran, surah, verses, meanings, and facts regarding the function of an environmentally friendly building. And the 5th is conclusion. And now I will first the introduction in my paper. The decline in the quality of global environment has become the most regular problem in the century. One of them is caused by modern architectural planning that is not environmentally friendly. Modern architecture uses fabricated materials that are mass produced around the world. The uniformity of this material ultimately results in the same building style everywhere, regardless of climatic, geographic, and local cultural factors. This style only considers economic and efficiency factors. Exploration of this material is one of the causes of the environmental degradation. Islam has explained in the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah 11 until 12, that in an effort to improve the quality of human life, it has actually caused damage to the earth. And when it is said to them, you must not do damage to the earth, they reply, we are actually the ones making improvement. Remember, we are the ones who make the damage, but we are not aware. This is the Surah Al-Baqarah 11 until 12. The problem is, 1. As Rahmatan lil Alamin, how does the perspective of the Quran explain about environmentally friendly architecture in the aspect of building function? Second, is there the fact of the writing content in the Quran regarding architecture environmentally friendly? M and David. And 1. Get an explanation of the verses of the Quran regarding environmentally friendly architecture in the aspect of building function. And 2. Get facts about the verses of the Quran on the history of the development of building function in architecture. Benefit. 1. For academics, as a basic theory in the architecture research based on the Al-Quran. And 2. For practitioners, to consider the design process so that it is environmentally friendly. The second discussion, characteristic of building function in architecture. Function in architecture building are divided into 4 categories. First, function of residence. 2. Creative place function. It's the place for our work. Worship function. If we worship function, if the place to do our ibadah. Recreation place atau function. If we want to make our fresh heart and our brain, we have to replace it. Characters of the four dimensions in Al-Quran is reading. Al-Quran is a collection of reading. Surah Qiyamah, verses 11. The book Al-Quran is reading written in the Musaf, which is preserved in the chest of those who guard it by memorizing Muslims. Sheikh Muhammad Abdul. 2. Writings. Al-Quran is the Arabic language lafaz, word of Allah, which was revealed to Muhammad SAW. To understand its content and always remember this was conveyed in a mood-worthy way, this was written in the Musaf, starting with the letter Al-Fatihah and ending with an Anas letter. Sheikh Meaning, this is a book which we send to you full of blessing so that they may pay attention to its verses and that those they remain by my leer. Surah Sad, verses 29. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala explained that the wisdom of bringing down the Quran is full of meaning. Blessing is for people to recite its verses and excitement. The fact every message brought by the apostle has a time of occurrence and one day you will know. Sometimes the fact in the Quran will prove, not now but maybe 100 later. Surah Al-An'am, verses 67. Explanation or facts about the reading in the Quran are obtained, maybe not in the past, but they are known in the present, after the discovery of much evidence in the modern century. Proof of architectural verses in the Quran, Surah, verses, meaning and fact regarding the function of an environmentally friendly building. Function of resident. Table 1. Function of resident in Al-Quran. Writing and reading. Surah Al-Hijr, verses 82. And they carved the houses out of the inhabited rock mountains with safety. Surah An-Nahl, verses 18. And Allah made houses for you as dwelling, and He made for you houses penned from the skin of the cattle that you feel like carried. When you travel and when you live, and He makes them also from sheep skin, camel skin, and goat skin, household item and fun until a certain time. Meaning, in Al-Ghazali's tafsir, it is stated that there are houses. 1. The houses that cannot be moved permanently, like our house now, such as houses made of stone, and 2. Houses that can be carried everywhere, like tent made of livestock skin. The fact in ancient times, especially in Stone Age, many houses were built in mountains and in caves which were carved with aesthetics. We can explain the people. Since 8,000 years ago, nomadic habit exists in the Arabian Peninsula, Africa, island tribes in Indonesia, which intend to find land for food sources, raise livestock, game, farming, and others. Function of right to work or to be creative. Surah Saba, verses 13. They, the jinn, worked for Solomon according to what he wanted, including making tall buildings, statues, plates, large like ponds and fixed pots above the staff. Work. O family of Daud, to give thanks to Allah, and very few of my servants are grateful. The meaning that the Prophet Solomon could command the jinn army and the time to build tall and magnificent building, which consisted of tall building and their status, and buildings in the form of large plates and pots like there are stuff. The fact, in fact, was proven by Kiai Haji Fahmi Basha in his research for 30 years at Borobudur Temple that Borobudur was the creation of Prophet Sulaiman. Surah Al-Mu'min, verses 36 until 37, and Pharaoh said, Haman, make for me a tall building so that I can raise the gates, namely the gates of heaven, so that I can see Rob Musa and verify I see him a liar. The meaning, Pharaoh is an effort to reach the sky where the Lord Prophet Musa lived, had ordered the masons of his day to build the highest pyramid in the world. The fact, according to American and French scientists Professor Gilles and Professor Boursaun, Pharaoh was actually very good at chemistry and managing clay, so that his creation was amazing, made thousands of years before a century, and will survive until today. Function or place of worship. Surah Al-Imran, verses 96 until 97. Indeed, the first house worship that was built for humans was Baitullah, which was in Makkah, which was blessed and became a guide for all natural. Meaning, these two verses clearly explain that the first house that was used as a place of worship for human in prayer, and prayer was the Kaaba in Mecca, which was founded by Prophet Ibrahim salam and Ismail, tafsir of Indonesian Ministry of Religion. The fact, based on archaeological evidence, it was found that during the Neolithicum, the Kaaba, as mentioned in the verse above, has a cube building pattern, which means indicating that the Kaaba building was first built during the Neolithicum period. Surah Yunus, verses 87. And we relieved to Moses and his brother, take some houses in Egypt for your people dwellings, and make your houses a place of worship, and pray and cheer up the believers. Allah ordered that the house be used as a place for prayer, tafsir of the Indonesian Ministry of Religion. During the COVID-19 pandemic, it has been proven that all houses have become places of worship for Muslims because of prohibition and gathering and having to maintain distance in public places as well as the places of worship. Function of place for recreation. Surah Ar-Ra'd, verses 35. The parable of heaven, which was promised to those who fear, is like a garden flowing under its rivers, always fruitful and shady. That is the place of the end for those who fear, while the final place for those who give God is hell. Surah Al-Baqarah, verses 25. And convey the happy news to those who believe and do good deeds, that they are provided with the heavens that flow the rivers in it, whenever they are given sustenance of food in these heavens. They say, this is what was given to us before. They are given similar fruit, and for them their wives who are holy and they are eternal in them. Meaning, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provides a description of the pleasure of heaven, which can be used as a reference for the concept of garden. although it will not be comparable to the pleasures of living in the hereafter. The physical characters mentioned in the Quran are beautiful, shady, large areas, easy access, and common areas for area public. All is which are things that are very well applied in planning and designing an Islamic garden. The fact, natural tourism spots as described by the Quran give rise to health and comfort for humans, as well as preserve natural resources in the environment. The emerge of high buildings creates destruction of the earth. Several verses in the Quran explain a nation that has tall buildings will end with the destruction of its people. The Iranians start to the inhabitant of iron in Surah Al-Fajr verses 7 until 8. The Iron Nation had succeeded in mastering technology and high buildings that had never been built in other countries. Allah destroys with a very cold and strong wind. The archaeologists who managed to find the ruins in the city of Iron was Nicholas Claps in 1990. This is the Arabs. The Pharaohs, in an effort to reach the sky where the Lord Moses lived, had ordered the mission of this day to build the highest pyramid in the world. This is one of the 8 wonders of the world until now. Pharaoh and his people had disaster and drowned in the Red Sea. Millennium is currently buildings have caused environmental degradation due to the greenhouse effect. Tall buildings that use the entire surface with glass material are the biggest contributor to global warming. Architecture are environmentally friendly in Al-Quran. In the explanation of the characteristic of an environmentally friendly architecture in the Quran, there are several provisions, referring to the repeat explanation in Surah Al-Araf 56-58. Water, soil, air, plants, and animals are all factors that can maintain the balances of the environment. The concept of Islamic architecture design, according to Nu'man, is that the Islamic values refer to the design of architecture building, content of Rahmatan lil Alamin, oriented, regular, efficient, beauty and simplicity, friendship, clean, healthy, comfortable, and sustainable. The principle of preserving nature, being environmentally friendly, and all its derivatives that are being intensified in the present, is written in the Al-Quran. Al-Quran also encourages humans to protect the earth by providing instruction so that buildings are in harmony with nature, have properties that exist in nature, are not wasteful of energy, and do not damage the environment. Conclusion. In the aspect of building function, there are 4 categories in architecture. Environmentally friendly architecture in Al-Quran explained. First, residential aspect. In Surah An-Nahl and Al-Hijr, it is explained that the residence is built with materials and uses existing technology around the environment. Buildings are adapted to the patterns of human activity and living. In the latter 2 aspect of the workplace or to be creative. The latter and the Surah Sabah and Al-Mu'min, it is explained that the workplace of creating creation in building, intellectual or intelligence can be applied optimally, can use high technology, but still environmentally friendly. The buildings that have survived until now are proven to use simple material found around the environment. 3. Aspect of place of worship. The place of worship explains that it can be made inside and outside the house. In Surah Ali Imran, it is clear that place of worship for Muslims should be made on a large scale so that they can be used by many people. Whereas in Surah Yunus, it says that our houses must have a place for worship. Aspect of recreation areas. As in Surah Al-Baqarah and Al-Ra'd, recreation areas are described as supposed to be like gardens of rivers, contained in flowing water, trees, animals, blooming flowers, and fresh air. This natural factor can create a balance in the environment on Earth. Thank you. This is the end of my presentation. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.